Today we're going to look at every character in the Mario Madness mod and rank them from least evil to most evil, leaving out only the characters that are pure of heart. The first category is going to be the least evil category, starting with Beta Luigi. Now I put Beta Luigi in the least evil category because he was simply a coward. He basically allowed his brother Mario to die when he was captured by King Boo, which is why he looks so depressed in the mod. While it is bad that he didn't have the guts to save his brother, that doesn't really make him evil. Next we have Super Bad Mario, and I put him in this category because he's more of like a prankster than an actual evil being. I don't think making people slip or have minor accidents can really be called evil. And if we're being honest, some of his little antics were actually pretty funny.
Here we go!
The last character in this category is going to be Stanley, and when most people look at this character, they think that he's evil, but in actuality, he was a victim the whole time. He even tries to warn people to stay away. The only reason he hurt people in the first place was because he was being forced to use his powers to harm others and had no say in the matter, which is also why he wanted to self-delete himself. He would have rather not exist than to be used to harm others. The next category I just put wrong, and I only have one character in this slot, and that is Turmoil. Now don't get me wrong, Turmoil is a savage. If you don't remember his backstory, Mario basically ate a mushroom that contained Yoshi DNA, and he ended up turning into a hybrid between man and Yoshi, but his animal side is more dominant. The only saving grace about this version of Mario is that he only eats people and creatures that he thinks are his enemy, which is why he spares his brother Luigi when they run into each other in his backstory. And in the mod, the only reason he wants to eat Boyfriend is because he took on the form of a Goomba, which are technically enemies to Turmoil. But if Boyfriend would have been in his human form, Turmoil probably would have never even bothered him to begin with. So while I can't say he isn't evil at all, I don't think he deserves to be any higher up on the list than this right here. And with that being said, now we move on to the bad category. These people may not be the worst on the list, but they are definitely rotten. First up is the Wario Apparition, and this guy will be quick and simple. He wants to kill Mario for no reason. He even tries to hypnotize the audience to help him take him out, making him the perfect fit to start this category off, really.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
Next we have the Luigi's Day Out Mario, and this guy is a piece of crap. He basically spends the whole animation finding ways to get his brother Luigi hurt or killed, and it's really for no reason. He even allows Daisy to put a tattoo on him. And while you can't say he's necessarily the most evil person in this video, he definitely wins the worst brother award. Next we have Devil Mario, and this guy was hard for me to place, and some of you may disagree with him being in the bad section. Basically, he was possessed by a bunch of boos and forced to kill a lot of people in the Mushroom Kingdom, even Luigi and Peach. The saving grace is that at the end, he was able to break free of the boos' control just long enough to stab himself, which basically ended the boos' invasion. Leave a comment if you think this guy should be in a different spot on this list. This one was actually hard for me to place. Next we have DJ Halibu, and this guy has the right idea, but he took it way too far. He basically punishes people who pirate video games, which is not a bad thing necessarily. The issue is that he will literally lock people up and make them write apologies and won't let them go until he's satisfied. He's basically like a virtual vigilante. And the last character for the bad category is Costume. There isn't a whole lot known about this character, but in the mod, we see that he's wielding a bloody knife, so we're going to go ahead and throw him in the bad category just to be safe. Now with that being said, we're going to be getting to the real rough characters now, and this next section is called Wicked, and we're going to start this section off with I Hate You, Luigi. Now this version of Luigi makes it to the Wicked category because he betrayed his brother due to simple jealousy. Mario never actually did anything to hurt Luigi in any way. Luigi simply got tired of living in his brother's shadow, so he decided to kill him so that he could get some shine. And in the end, he actually got what he deserved for being a snake of a brother. Next we have Mr. L, and the only reason that this guy didn't get put in the pure evil category is that he actually has a reason to hate Mario. The reason that this version of Luigi died is because Mario accidentally knocked him into some lava. And even though Mario feels bad about it, that's not enough for Luigi, and now he basically torments his brother every day. And while I know that Luigi is wrong, I can kind of understand not being able to rest in peace after dying in such a horrible way. Next up we have Coronation's Peach, and this character is basically a forest spirit that murders anyone that comes into their woods, and it can even possess people if it so chooses, as we see here with Peach. The only reason this creature isn't considered pure evil for me is that it doesn't seem to go out of its way to kill people. It seems like you have to go into its woods for it to actually be a threat to you. And my logic is kind of the same for the next character, which is Racist Mario. This version of Mario is basically a killing machine, and while he definitely doesn't have the right to just start taking people out because he doesn't like them being included in Mario Kart, I can't put him in the pure evil category because if people simply stay off his track, he likely won't care about them at all. This guy is definitely a piece of crap though, and I'm happy that Kratos actually smacked him up a bit. Next up on our list is going to be Horror Mario, and I know some of you may expect this guy to be in the pure evil category, but I don't think that's necessarily a fair placement for him. The only reason Horror Mario went after Boyfriend and Girlfriend is because he was betrayed by Daddy Dearest back in the day, and has basically been trapped in the video game world for like 30 years. While it isn't fair that he's taking out his revenge on Girlfriend, even killing her at the end of the mod, it's clear to see that he isn't pure evil, but rather just someone that is hell-bent on making Daddy Dearest suffer. And with that being said, I will also put Horror Peach in this category as well, because she is like his romantic partner and ally, and then of course their minions are going to kind of fall in this category as well because they are following their orders. So that's Yoshi.exe, LG, W4R, and Yosh. The final category is the pure evil category, and I have 4 characters that fall into this lot, the first one being Mr. Virtual. Now, Mr. Virtual makes it onto the pure evil list because even back when he was a regular human, he was still a maniac. He was a circus performer, and one day he just burned down a circus with all his co-workers in the circus tent. There was no reason for this, but not only did Mr. V not feel bad about it, he was actually excited about what he did. And after that massacre, he went on to become like a full-fledged serial killer. And even after he was killed and his soul was transferred into a virtual boy, he continued to murder people, basically preying on anybody that put on the cursed virtual boy. And he didn't care if his victim was man, woman, or child. Anybody that put on that headset was basically just his next victim. Next up on our list is Secret History Mario, and this guy is basically just Hitler. I don't know if YouTube still dings videos for saying that name, but this guy basically just rolled up on the Koopas and started catching bodies and taking all their land. I mean, he literally didn't even spare the children. And for some reason, he even abused the princess, and I'm pretty sure she was on his side the whole time. This version of Mario was an absolute menace and definitely deserves his spot on this list. Next, we have MX, and I don't think we need to say a whole lot about this guy. He's basically Lord X, but with Mario's body. He hides within a copy of a Mario game, and when someone plays it, he will suck them into his game world and make them play a game of tag. The cruel thing here though is that if he wins, he will eat the person's soul, and even if the person does manage to get away from him, it's just temporary because the game will continue at some point. Even in his creepypasta, his victim's name is Lucas and he's like 10 years old. And that is really why he makes it so high up on this list. He seems to like almost exclusively go after children. And in my eyes, characters that have no problem going after kids are pure scum. And that brings us to the final character, which is GB. And he does all the same things that MX does, except that he is more powerful than MX and loves to play with his victims more. He may let a person live for weeks while he slowly wears down their mental health, and then he will put them out of their misery once they're fully broken. And just like MX, he doesn't care if his victims are children or adults as long as he gets his fix. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with my list or if you will move some people around, and let me know if you want me to make one of these for the scrap characters as well. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace.